Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Casual Esports Amateur League. I am TTU Phoenix. My co-caster is Autumn Gamer. Today, we're going to be bringing you a podcast of the game between Taco's Taco Truck, I think I got it right, and Anarchy Navy, the Taco Truck. I was going to say the Taco Truck, people. You're just going to have to get used to the fact that I'm going to say Taco Truck. The Taco Truck is on blue side, Anarchy Navy is on red side. We are checking out the picks and bans. Both of these teams are new to me. So we are in, I think we're in Shrima. Yes, we are in the Shrima division. Taco's Taco Truck has the eponymous Taco in top lane. He's the driver, if you will. Butterfreelo in jungle. He's the guy in the passenger seat who's got the map. Sonora Star in mid, in Karen Franz in ADC, and Mycroft Holmes in support. So basically, Karen and Mycroft are the ones in the back yelling, "Are we there yet?" And then on the other side, we have Anarchy Navy with It's Just Drago in top, Yermord in jungle, Midmaster in mid, Suppressed MP5 in ADC, and Warwolves in support. So looking at the picks and bans, looking at the picks and bans, we have like what I would call a classic circle comp or just ult comp on the Taco Truck side. Sejuani, Scion, Oriana. It's just like, all right, a tank initiates. They do their big CC thing. We got the anti-tibbers, we've got the command shockwave, and Twitch just does a bunch of damage. It's a very classic team fight oriented team comp. Anarchy Navy, I think, has a slightly more skirmishy team comp. My guess would be that is a Wukong jungle. We have a I'm gonna guess it's a Wukong top lane, Trundle jungle, Echo mid, and then Kog'Maw and Nibia bot. You've got a lot Echo and Wukong who are very skirmishery, lots of in and out, ducking and diving. So looking at it, I'm curious, Autumn, what you think. But I personally favor the Taco Truck. Looking at their team comp,
I will say a little bit of a correction on the draft because it looks like the Echo was actually a mistaken lock-in.
Okay.
They went into game with a Lulu Kog'Maw, so this is actually the OG Juggernaut. Yeah, this is the OG Juggernaut comp.
I like that a little more. I thought it was a Nibia support, and I was a little concerned that there'd be a lack of peel, but Lulu Cog is really threatening. So, it won G2.
As a non-repentant Lulu spammer with enough mastery points to be concerning, I can honestly say that if there's any one champion Lulu still has synergy with in this game, it is Kog'Maw. He loves attack speed, he loves slows, he loves being able to survive literally anything. And he most certainly loves playing into champions like Twitch. And yes, he's even okay with Annie. Yes, Annie will get her stun off eventually, but realistically, between Kog'Maw's own ability to gain some lifesteal through some items and Lulu's ability to just keep him healthy, like Annie and Twitch are gonna be hard put to actually shut this lane down.
Yeah, that's true. But on the other hand, if Kog'Maw doesn't have like a cleanse or a QSS, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him take cleanse here. If he gets hit by a Sejuani Glitch of Prison or a Scion Ultimate, like he's gonna be dead before he knows what happened. So
yeah, doubly true if Scion, for example, has the Oriana Ball, which the Scion Express is great at ball delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Source, I've had that happen to me before.
Can you put the Oriana Ball on Tibbers? I don't think so.
No, you cannot put Oriana's ball onto a non-champion. So it must be put onto a friendly champion.
Yeah. I think Anarchy Navy certainly has the stronger early game. Wukong's a very strong early game champion now in top lane, particularly in the tanks. Trundle is a stronger early game jungler than Sejuani, and he's able to siphon stats in team fights. But I think the sort of conventional front to back team fight still goes to the Taco Truck unless Cog is allowed to free fire. And notably, Taco Truck doesn't have an assassin. So
yeah, they don't, but they kind of don't need one because their assassin is literally a freaking Scion barreling into, like, literally, if this is Mecha Scion, It's literally a taco train. All
Yeah,
right, he brings
the taco train arrives.
he brings joy, fun, delicious meats, and a freaking Oriana ball. Crashes into them, probably flashes if he has to. Oriana gets her ult off, probably would kill Kog'Maw with between that and W, especially after some buffs. And if that's not enough, you also happen to have the submarine capable Twitch. So you actually can also Oriana ball Twitch, have him submarine on in. You can actually Oriana ball for him as well.
And
Which
just
is
like Taco Bell, it looks great from a distance, but you're really going to regret once you get close to it. So,
exactly.
Let's get into game, get the replay started.
Yeah, we are starting here at 0-0.
Yes. I'm just seeing what you see, so. Alright, so looking at runes and masteries, obviously there's no loading screen. We have Grasp on the Scion, Conquer on the Wukong and the Trundle. Looks all pretty standard. The only things that I think do spring a little bit is Phase Rush on Sonora Star's Oriana, which I think makes sense. Oriana has a lot of damage already. She doesn't necessarily need more, but she's going to be able to kite to avoid the Anivia slows, getting dove on by the Wukong. So I don't mind the focus on a little extra survivability and maneuverability. And the electrocute on Anivia, I don't know what Anivia usually takes, but it's definitely a little more early game burst focused Anivia.
Yeah, electrocute, occasionally Dark Harvest on her. In general, you're not
spell books.
Yeah, that as well. Like Anivia doesn't really need a keystone to do her job, so
Yep. Oh, man,
she's actually one of the few champions that can possibly make Omnistone actually work. So
when they were looking at changing her ult to not be interrupted by CC, I was just like, oh, please no. As a melee player, like my only hope to survive an Anivia is to
tapping her ultimate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's the same thing as a Lulu player. The moment I heard that, I'm like, well, I am literally useless into that champion now. Anyway, we're gonna start off here. It looks like we're gonna again see parallel starts. So Sejuani going for the dank leash bot side. Actually, leash is slower than the Wukong and Trundle. However, I will say one thing. Speaking of that last matchup and bring this in here again, this is a Sejuani into a Trundle.
Mm-hmm.
We thought the Olaf was bad. Sejuani has to be very, very careful here because Trundle can actually just walk into her jungle and destroy her.
See, the one thing in my experience, and I've played the Sejuani versus Trundle matchup, is I think that Trundle's build is going to be very important because I've seen Warrior Trundle, I've seen Cinder Hulk, and one of the things I've experienced with like very damage-heavy Trundle builds is that it leaves him very squishy, even with the stolen stats. Very hard trade going down the top lane.
Is going to go out in favor mostly of Scion there for health, but Wukong does gain some minion control.
And notably, Wukong did take Corrupting Potion, he took Biscuit, so he has a lot of sustain in lane, plus his passive does give him enhanced health regen.
Yep, which helps him out here. Looks like we're going to actually see a little bit of invades going on here for the Trundle. So Trundle going to leverage his clear speed there. He goes basically buff to Gromp and goes in, gets a quick ward in. Sejuani looks like she did buff Raptors to buff Gromp. Yep. She doesn't have a Scuttle Crab here just yet. It's not spawned in. Wukong looks like he spotted her out there.
Sejuani is very easy to take Scuttle Crab with. She has so much displacement against minions that she's a very fast.
Poor Scuttle doesn't get any armor here. Anivia is actually pushing Oriana in, which it's expected. Oriana does not actually have great wave clear during her first few levels. No. She really needs WQ to be up to have wave clear, and she really, really needs that lost chapter.
But notably, Sejuani doesn't look like she wants to try to gank early. See, I'm not sure I like the Sejuani path because she left Wolves undone. She's now crossed a ward, so they know where she is. So her chances of getting a good gank in are pretty low. And she goes to check bot Scuttle, but it's like
it's already taken.
And it's like
she has Krugs up too, so she's got two really big camps there. Krugs in particular, that yes, they got nerfed, but they're still pretty good even for Sejuani.
notably, like you took top scuttle unopposed, so you should have assumed that Trundle was doing bot scuttle. Like if you are on scuttle and you don't see the other jungler, it's because he's at the other scuttle. At least for the first one.
Okay, so we're gonna be going back down to bot side here real quick. The Kog'Maw is bullying, so Lulu Cog is good for bullying, and it's just as I say that, Sejuani tries to go for a quick gank, but Anivia walks away, and yeah, Anivia knew she was there anyway. Trundle was nearby, but he was recalling because he knew that there's not much of a threat. And kind of going back down to this, bot lane here real quick, because we were talking about that.
There.
Yeah, they're trading excellently here. Sejuani going back into our jungle. Nothing really much is happening here.
Trundle's already back for his Skirmisher Saber. But one thing I want to point out is that even though the mana expenditure is about even between Sonora Star and Mid Master, there's about a 12 minion lead. So 2 waves of minions in lead to Sonora Star. So Sonora Star is almost a full kill worth of gold up on the Anivia. And I think that's just through better management of the wave, better last hitting.
Yeah, and that is one of Anivia's actual, like, she's not actually all that good at last hitting, despite the fact that she's away from
very slow.
So, like, until level 6, she's not going to be able to gather as many minions as Orianna, especially because Orianna's entire passive kit is designed around her last hitting.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's one of those. It's kind of like Love Tap. It's like, well, we gave this champ really low base AD, but we also gave them an on-hit damage bonus so that they do clear. Can last hit just fine.
Yeah, and in the case of Anivia, it's actually good enough that, I mean, for a while we literally had an NA mid building freaking Nashor's Tooth.
Yeah.
Thanks, Power of Evil.
Looks like he's gonna try to solo dragon, and he should be able to pretty easily.
There goes the fight. Kog'Maw, Lulu do come up, so this is gonna be 3 on Drake here, and there really isn't much they can do because Annie and Twitch are backed.
Yeah, that's just.
Sejuani knows they're there, but she can't really stop them. Only sees 2 of them, so she has no idea where Trundle is. Anivia comes down, the Smite Consume comes out. Mountain Drake goes over red side, which is fantastic here. Yeah, Anarchy gets it. Thank you for that. And a little bit of some action coming down here. Wukong forced to flash out. He's going to get knocked up. Flash auto. First blood to Scion. And with the Delectify emote there on first blood. Cute little emote there.
Yeah, notably, he tried to use the Warrior Trickster to, my guess, to dodge the Scion ult, but he hits both the clone and the invisible Wukong, and just the shield plus the grasp auto gives him enough sustain that.
Oh, okay. So here's another thing. He had Balmy Cinder during that as well, I think.
So, he did. So that was 220.
Immolate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And. So, looking at itemization, Kog'Maw has. I like the dragon play. I want to talk about it before we had the fight top lane, because I think it was a really good use of back timing by Anarchy Navy. Kog'Maw backs on 1,200 gold to get a refillable and Berserker's Greaves, which is fine because he's a champion who scales primarily off attack speed and on-hit effects. And so, Berserker's Greaves does more for him than it does for other ADCs who depend more on raw attack damage. So he has just gotten his first, I don't want to call it a spike, but it's a first bump in power. He's coming back from lane safely. He knows that his opposing bot lane has to back soon as well. And so while they've backed and he's getting to lane quicker, they just go for Dragon because they know that Trundle clears it very effectively. Orianna's got blue buff, so she'll be able to pressure lane. Anivia chooses to back instead of taking the blue. They may have her come to it after Trundle clears his Gromp. She's just building mana because Anivia just needs so much mana. She guzzles the stuff. Scion notably has built 2 longswords, so I don't know what that's for. My guess would be Titanic Hydra.
Yeah, which would make him able to split push against Wukong.
Mm-hmm. More wave clear, and as a champion who stacks a lot of health.
So Sejuani looks like she's going to try it. The Glacial Person does hit down onto the Kog'Maw. Lulu ult does come out, though, and this is what happens here. This is exactly why you take the Lulu. As they go in, that's a lot of commitments, and Kog'Maw just gets to walk out with a decent amount of health. And actually, they're winning the health trade here, as Kog'Maw's able to just back away with the Trundle.
Though notably, that was also a good example of exactly what the taco truck strategy is. It's we press all of our AoE buttons on top of this dude, and he hopefully dies. And in that case, with his barrier and the Lulu ult and his flash, suppressed MP5 is able to escape, but he gets really low. They shove a wave into tower, so he's going to lose that farm. And notably, Trundle ulted the Twitch, I think, for trying to get the damage. But because the Subjugate is a percent HP steal, it doesn't do that much to squishies in terms of raw damage, and it's not going to give Trundle that much to resist. So if he ulted the Sejuani there, he might have been able to keep the fight going longer. And,
yeah, especially since she was still under the effects of Aftershock too. So like,
Mhm.
Sejuani Aftershock gives her so much resistance that when Trundle does ult her, he goes negative. Like,
Yeah.
she can actually go negative resist. That is a thing in this game, and it is very infuriating. Okay, Nivea here does have her blue buff now, so she has it. The blue buffs are desynced with Ori's, and that allows her to have a little bit of wave control.
But she is forced to flash. She doesn't really have the lane control. She's still down 17 CS. With Lost Chapter and Blasting Wand versus just a Tear and a Sapphire Crystal, the damage advantage is heavily in Oriana's favor, and she can keep mid-master pressured in.
Chad Lulu here just walking out in front of an Annie, like she's all right. So that just shows you how much lane control they have. When the Lulu is able to walk in front of your lane and for minion wave, and you have to respect it, that's a lot of wave. That's a lot of lane control.
The massive wave they had built up, if Annie had tried to fight, she would have taken a lot of damage from the minion aggro.
Yeah, especially in that situation.
It is Tiamat on Scion. The only thing I don't play Scion myself. I kind of keep hoping to get the Mecha Zero Scion skin out of a box. But Wukong's building towards Blade of the Ruined King, and having played tanks into basically any Bork user, it's really obnoxious. It's really intolerable how much damage they do.
So Sedge and Ori here looking for a fight. Lulu and Kog'Maw, they go in quick, take some fruit. It is technically 4v2 at the moment if they want to engage this, but it looks like they're not going to try.
Sion's in top river, but he has on
Trundle is very low, actually. So Anivia wall comes out. So Trundle did face check that, got hit hard.
Yeah, they
use
a lot of damage. The Glacial Prison and the Command Shockwave there.
So that's a lot of damage that comes down, but he is not able to. They're not able to confirm the kill. A little bit of a damage trade here going down onto Kog'Maw, but Kog'Maw just is doing so much damage there. Finally, Tibbers comes out and Kog'Maw dies. Karen picks up the kill, but Lulu here actually fighting back and almost succeeds. She goes for the flash. That's a lot of damage down. One more auto does it. Yes, it is enough.
Cry Havoc and
Sometimes picks just does work there. And while in the background there, Sejuani does pick up the Infernal Drake, so that is a good Drake to have on hand. We are now going to be seeing Cloud Rift today. Wukong trading heavily into Scion. Both go very low. That does not really work out very much in the favor of Scion there, as Wukong just regens it back up. But if he had killed him, Scion probably could have smacked Wukong hard enough with his corpse to, trade.
Yeah. Notably, Wukong has lifesteal, and this is one of the big advantages of the Bork build, is that once you get strong enough to zone the other laner off the wave, you now have so much sustain that they can't contest, and you're always healthy. Scion did actually stop the Wukong teleport there, I think with just the Decimating Smash. And so Wukong was not able to teleport into the bot lane fight. Werewolf still ends up getting the kill, but he's down that summoner spell, and Scion will have his up first. So Scion could look to make a play around the map, potentially by ulting into a lane, and then teleporting back top lane, which is what I like to do if, for example, I play Kled. And when I'm on a champion with that kind of roaming ult, I like to ult a lane, and then...
Going here, Trundle in a little bit of trouble. Trundle does get knocked down, and Oriana picks up the kill, so...
Subjugate was available, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it was off cooldown yet. It was still on cooldown a little bit. And that's the problem with what the Warrior Trundle is. He's kind of like some other bruisers. He's not naturally tanky. He's got decent base stats, but he doesn't have like a shield. He doesn't have any kind of like defensive steroid. He's got improved healing, but if he's not able to stack up the Conqueror and without any kind of defensive itemization, he's pretty fragile. And so I generally prefer Cinderhulk when I have like a Trundle on my team, just because otherwise he's very squishy and he's liable to blow up. Like, he's only tanky when he has the Sejuani stats, and every other time he's a squishy. Scion is just
Yep, Scion.
Oh.
Here comes the gank. So Subjugate could be useful here.
The Taco Train is, he's stuck in traffic here. He's getting blocked.
He is going to go down.
Road Rage.
Yeah, he is possibly going to trade it out. He does trade it out. Looks like the Tiamat there.
The Taco Truck commits a moving violation. He gets ticketed by the police. His truck gets impounded, but he does enable Road Rage, and he is able to give a little bit of the fist to someone who blocked him up.
Yeah, he does. However, that's also traded back there. Ooh, with the quick flash auto there, picks just enough to pick it up as well. So that's actually 2 kills traded back. Sejuani taking Wukong in the back end of that trade as well. And then Lulu, Kog'Maw just juggermawing it down the lane. So Road Rage instant in top there, and looks like we had a little bit of a hit and run coming on the bot side as well.
Yeah, and I think like we've seen the ups and the downsides of an Annie support. The burst threat is very real, and she works really well with another like engage or CC champ like Sejuani, because you hit the Sejuani ult, you throw the Tibbers with the stun on someone, and they just die. The problem is that she doesn't really have sustain damage. She doesn't empower or enable her carry. She's basically kind of like a Brand or a Zyra in that she's just a poke mage, and if she's not killing people with that, then she's not doing very much. And so they can't really stand and fire because Cog's just going to stand and fire better. Even though itemization-wise, it's not a huge lead for Kog'Maw. In a straight-up fight, he's going to beat the Twitch.
Yeah, now I will say basically the thing with Annie support is you are either a poke mage or you're literally just a CC bot. Like, old school Annie support didn't have the econ to actually be a mage. She pretty much built, discount AP and health items, and then was there to ult people.
I'm curious.
There was a cheeky Ardent build a while back when Stoneborn Ardent was actually good. However, the fact that Stoneborn Pact was brought up should tell you enough about that build.
Yeah, that was old. I'm fond of Stone. Like, I liked the idea of it, but it never felt like it did anything. Like,
yeah, it does.
Like, I'm like, okay, I have damage reduction. That seems like it should be good, but I never really can tell I'm taking less damage or how much I'm getting transferred from an ally. So, you know what I do miss, though? I miss Courage of the Colossus.
Oh, that's a fun one. And here we go. Quick fight going down in top lane as Wukong is ulting and then ulting again. And it looks like we have a little bit of a pile-up going on there. Lulu goes for the flash W. Orianna is very much there for the recovery. And
Orianna just gets picked off. Like, Werewolves, like, he sees blood. He's playing Lulu, but he's channeling Pike.
I mean, if you're not playing Lulu like Pike, you're doing it wrong. She's a very angry support, especially after all the things done to her, and that's
Holmes is going to use the Tibbers to disengage.
It does succeed at that, however, this is still Cloud Drake up. This will be Cloud Drake 1. Scion doesn't look like he's burnt. Looks like he burned ult. Doesn't do much for it, so the taco truck is late for its delivery here. And
Taco truck is running into some stormy weather. Hopefully he brought snow tires. Wukong is going to get a tower in top lane.
Yeah, that's Flash Auto. Twitch is in a really bad spot here. He does not have the damage or the sustain. Lulu picks up the kill there. That's how you know you have an angry support. And that's going to be Cloud Drake going over here. I don't think Taco Truck can actually contest this.
No. So notably, during that time, the Taco Truck did take the first tower using Rift Herald. And Wukong had to burn his TP to stop a second tower from going down. And so they've actually forced him to disengage with the threat of the Orianna damage here. Oh,
Sejuani walks through. She gets damage. Good ult from Orianna, but the damage just ain't there. Scion's on the backside. Lulu is the one Lulu gets knocked up. But yeah, ults herself, backs away.
Trying to stand and fire. He's got the barrier active. It's time down now. He's exhausted.
Yeah, exhaust however cools off. Health bars are running low. Orianna does not have the damage yet. That's a good kill down on the Kog'Maw, but Sejuani goes down in the back as well. Ori forced to
And
flash away because of the
yep.
Trundle, knocks herself over the wall. They can't really disengage. It is 4v3 and health bars are very low. Good damage down. Wukong goes in. Orianna blows up. Annie blows up Wukong. Lots of damage down onto...
from Scion. So he's very tanky.
He's very tanky. Sion's very low. Annie is also very low as well. That's actually going to be a kill down onto Annie and onto Sion. Lulu takes the Annie kill. Sion's going to smack by Lulu. Oh, geez. We had a pile up here, multiple collisions, pretty bad accident, and it looks like at the end of it all, the team fight's more or less a wash. They're 9-9. They're pretty much dead even in gold here. The dragon is still alive.
Karen knows that Anivia's there. He's going for it. He's got the rat-a-tat-tat.
And yeah, he goes for it. There is the egg now. He throws down a bit of extra poison. I think Orianna's going to help him out there. That's going to be a slow down. Orianna helping out with the shutdown.
So
that's a lot of gold to Twitch.
Fighting over this dragon for like 2 minutes. And
easily.
In that time, 2 dragons have gone down in other lanes.
Yeah, 2 towers, and Twitch has respawned.
Yes. And this is going to be an air drake over to the side of the taco truck. So the taco truck gets to drive out more often. You know, it's got the fuel points. It gets to gas up for cheap. Sion has completed his Sunfire cape. He's almost done with his Titanic Hydra. Probably has it now. It's only 575 to complete.
And bad puns aside here, that movement and speed buff is actually really, really critical on my 3 champions here. Sejuani ult movement going in.
Mm-hmm.
You're not stopping that.
I actually help Twitch kite after he ults. Yeah,
I'm kind of questioning if it does anything for Sion, if it makes his train faster, like a little bit of the faster delivery, but who knows?
So for champions with channeled ultimates,
it's not great. Lulu does get bursted really, really hard, but the Comet comes down and dunks the poor Yordle. There we go. There's the other one. It's a double kill now for the Annie. Kill comes out for the Wukong in favor of Orianna there. And, Trundle is doing his best, but Blade of the Rune King steals movement speed, and they walk away.
Yeah, and there you see, like, as long as Lulu's alive and with him, Cog is super threatening, but if she's dead, he goes down pretty quick.
Step 1 of any Juggernaut comp, kill the Lulu. Yep. It doesn't matter if the Kog'Maw's the bigger threat, kill the Lulu.
Because if you don't kill the Lulu, you won't kill the Kog'Maw.
Exactly. It's the same rule for Soraka, it's the same rule for Nami. Anytime an enchanter exists, you kill them first.
Mm-hmm. So I think we're seeing, we've seen a lot of...
A little bit of fight here going on. This is what we're seeing here, by the way, with the ability for the Trundle to actually kind of just destroy Sejuani. After Sejuani's armor is down, Trundle just has to run over in there, and she has to back away.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not really thrilled with this Trundle build. It's from Warrior into Bork, so again, like, he's very, very squishy. I'm not a fan of the Warmogs for Sejuani either. Like, yes, Warmogs is a core item on Sejuani. It is very powerful for her. It gives her a lot of health, which combos well with her resist. But the fact is, you're up against 3 champions who are building Blade of the Ruined King. And Anivia's probably going to build Leandries. Raw health is not your friend in this game. I would have liked to see a Thornmail into Adapted Helm.
Okay, tower goes down here. A little bit of a fight coming on the top lane. That's a good stun down. Wukong has to leave. However, it looks like Sedge might be able to dive here.
Oh, the taco.
Oh, he hit a pole.
Yeah. Let's see. So It's Just Drago does manage to escape there with use of the Warrior Trickster, but it does mean that Taco, and Shadow will be able to push down this tower, claim another objective. They're now leading 5 towers to 1, have a 4,500 gold lead.
Yeah, which is definitely something you're going to feel there. There's not much they can do that top lane.
Mm-hmm.
So, realistically, the Juggernaut comp was a good idea. They've just never had a chance to execute on it right now.
Yeah,
at all. They're just getting outfought.
Yeah, and they're taking fights like 2v2 or 3v3 where Cog really wants to have his whole team with him to peel. He needs Lulu and like Trundle or Anivia with him on peel duty, and he's not getting that right now. That said, given how powerful the Juggernaut is in late game, like even with the 4,500 gold lead, I don't think that you can count out
Yeah, no, Rageblade coming up here relatively soon.
Yeah.
Just looking at the items here, looking at their itemizing. This is going to be a real quick gank there. Flash ult. That's enough. Flash ults, 2 ults down. So the Shockwave comes out. That's a kill over on the Kog'Maw. Lulu has to run away here. Looks like that is going to be a double kill. Annie does.
Holmes is going to go down even with the Zhonya's, but I think
Stopwatch
that,
is burned, but that's not going to be enough just yet.
does she
Orianna
have
also
another command
burning.
attack?
No, I don't think she does, but Trundle's not going to make that matter. Scion goes in as well, gets a quick kill. So it is 2 for 3 right now.
So they actually managed to burn through essentially everything, every defensive tool Kog'Maw has. They get his barrier, the Lulu ult, the Aerie shield, the heal, the pick shield, like literally every possible defensive tool there was used, and it still was not enough to stop just the crazy burst.
Yep, and Scion, by the way, delivers a taco right into their backline as Anivia gets forced to go into the eggs here. And right there, just like Taco Bell, it's not what happens before the eating. That's enjoyable. It's what happens afterwards. As the fight behind goes really, really poorly here for... it was really, really poorly and very, very well here for Taco Truck.
So once again, though, they take another tower. So they're getting some, like, the fights are being traded back relatively well by Anarchy Navy, but the problem is that they're not getting objectives. Like,
yep, and that's another Cloud Drake. So double Cloud.
Aaron France has to run for his life.
Yeah, Lulu dies again, and
this may be a trade of
Annie is. It might be a trade here. That's a good Sejuani ult. Good shockwave. Orianna picks up another one as well. Yeah, that's Anivia who's left, but she's gonna get stunned up there. So Anivia trades back 2. They trade back a kill as well. So it's 2 kills for 4 in the long run of this fight, and it's literally just an Anivia versus an Angry Bear. And a bunch of displaced taco workers, as that's the ace coming down.
Yeah, with quarantine in effect, they all have to self-isolate. They can't serve the tacos anymore. They're stuck at home. They're upset about it. And so they decide to take it out on this bird. They're like, if we can't serve tacos, we will serve fried chicken. So, looking at itemization, we've got basically 2.5 items coming out for everyone. Karen's backing here. He should have a lot of gold, so I would expect the runes to be finished. We have a Morella Nomicon on Annie going into a Zhonya's Hourglass. What should be a redemption? Yep, just finished a redemption for Warwolves. Cogs building Wit's End, which I like. The Lifesteal and most notably the Magic Resist is going to do a lot to stop them from exploding in these team fights.
So I will make a quick comment there about the Morello on Annie. I actually don't think that's a good item choice here for her. I think you're probably better off doing something like Ludens on her, or even like GLP or slows, right? And the reason being here is there's nothing on their team that really has ludicrous amounts of healing. The worst they have is everyone who has a Blade of the Rune King, but they've already shown that even with that in place, they have enough, CC and damage that it doesn't matter.
That's true. Like, they can CC Trundle for long enough to kill him even with the resist. And, like, for all that she's an incredibly good enchanter, Lulu's not really a healing enchanter.
Yeah, the most heal she has is literally the 200 plus some HP on her ultimate. And here we go. Here comes the duel, and Twitch actually wins with the rat-a-tat-tat. Yeah. And there's nothing they can do to trade it back, so...
Suppressed MP5, like, maybe I'll visit, the pita truck, maybe I'll look for some pizza, and Karen Franz just, like, drives by, leans out the window of the taco truck and gives him the rat-a-tat-tat, and then just zooms on out of there.
Yeah, drive-by tacos right there, because that's about how that went. As there's a fight going on in top lane, and Wukong is, or bot lane, Wukong. Yeah, Wukong is losing. Yeah, they're DoorDash now.
Yeah, this Scion's got Sterak's Gauge. He's got 3 items. They're on Baron, but notably Karen.
There's nothing they can do. Okay, Twitch is literally 1v3 right now, and he's actually winning. And this is inting Scion. This is literally winting Scion right now, and it works.
Yeah, though it's gonna take him a while to finish off Baron because Karen's not actually on the Baron. You need your ADC on the Baron, Karen.
That's okay. There goes a good heal, but it's still working either way here. They're not going to be able to disrupt the Baron at all. Anivia will get the kill onto the Annie. That's a shutdown. However, Twitch mispositioned, and they do get the Baron in the long run. I think that positioning was very dangerous. Taco Truck runs into a little bit of a minor collision again. This truck's looking very beat up. Good ult does go down. Trundle's not able to really do anything. Anivia is walled off. Anivia is slowed.
Ooh.
That will be a kill.
They force they do force the egg, but Ori does go down. This is actually a really despite the CS deficit, Midmaster is 8-2-4. If anyone stays in the Glacial Storm for too long, they're just gonna die because she's just completed the Leandries, and Shadow's going to just get burned down by all of that percent damage. Oh, here comes the taco train.
Yep, train delivered straight to Trundle's door, almost right into his mouth. Sejuani's going to actually keep following here because the movement speed from the Drake is actually, literally the ult cooldown.
The cloud zone, yeah.
Yeah, it's enough. And she just runs him down. She just runs him down. More kills going down. Kog'Maw's still dead, by the way, for another 30 seconds. So
what's really happening here is that they're attempting a hostile takeover of all food truck business in Summoner's Rift. They're like, look, there are other trucks out there. They've got the pita, they've got the kebabs, they've got the Chinese food.
Here we go. Oriana takes a quick trade. That's actually a really good disengage, and Wukong can't finish her off. That's flash forward, slows down. Command attack in dissonance goes hard.
It's just Drago tried to steal their parking spot, for the best truck spot. But Sonora Star is like, nah, man, this is our turf. You don't.
Yeah, see, this is why you scout parking spots right here, by the way. And they're going to engage on the Scion. That's Drake's soul, so let the fun begin here. As there's now a movement speed increase on all ultimates cast that aren't channeled.
And 30% cooldown reduction is going to do so much.
Yeah, so they do trade Scion's life, but it's Winting Scion. He's going to go in there. He's going to use his body to smack that turret even more. And they have a Baron. Oriana probably going to die here. She does happen to have Zhonya's, but it's not enough.
Yep. She just goes down afterwards.
It's going to be a real quick ult that does stop any further disengages. However, a little bit of a chaotic fight there. That does, I think, stop the siege, though.
Yeah, I think they should fall back. They've got 2 down. And they're probably sitting on a fair amount of gold on the side of the taco truck. They're about 6K up. Now, I'd like to point out, Scion has a Lord Dominic's regards. He has bought an armor pen item. He's probably doing about as much physical damage as Wukong is. And Wukong has 2 damage items. This Scion is really threatening.
All that, by the way, while being tanky, because he's got the Sterix gauge as well, and he has the freaking Sunfire Cape. So when Scion hits you, you get shredded for percentage HP damage. You're getting shredded.
It's gonna feel like you're getting hit by a train. The only thing I think that really threatens him is Kog'Maw, if Cog's allowed to free fire.
Yeah, which right now they're doing a darn good job of making sure that the Union doesn't go on strike, and Kog'Maw's not allowed to sit there and do what he wants.
All right, so. They're taking the red buff. I think they're squaring up for a push. There's 2 open inhibs on the side of Anarchy Navy, so they just need to decide what lane. And it looks like what they're going to do. My guess is what they're going to do is they're going to do a 4-1 situation where all of their team is in one lane, probably mid or top, and Scion just sits in the bot lane, and he uses his ult or teleport to get to lane. Because this Scion, if left alone, will absolutely destroy towers and inhibitors and champions and anything else that gets its way.
Yeah, now Baron has worn off, but that's still 3 Drakes. Next spawn is Elder. Anivia is able to finally, Anivia, Lulu, and Kog are finally able to get that mid tower down, so it is a bit of control given back.
And notably, there's good wave clear on the side of Ori, but Anarchy Navy is not...
Oh, that's a good shockwave, though, and Lulu just disappears! There's nothing they can do about that. They have to back away. There's a fight. Fights are engaged down in the bot lane as well. Scion versus Trundle.
Back to try to save the inhib, but I don't think he's going to be able to save this 1v3.
No, he's not. Trundle is trying to stop Scion from doing things, but that's a Scion.
Yeah,
that's a very angry Scion. Very much winning. He tries to go down. That's the circle. The pillar comes out as well.
She should be out here, but in
Trundle's
return,
out.
They're going to lose one.
Scion doesn't have ult, so he can't chase down. He doesn't have flash, so they're losing inhibs, they're losing turrets. That's a good shockwave as well. Big bump from the Sejuani. And Nivea is shut down, so that's all their wave clear that's out. Kog'Maw is way too low, and he's getting smacked and beaten by a teddy bear.
I liked the mid push there. They're like, okay, we think they're going to go to side lanes. Let's get mid while they're not answering. And at first, it looks great. They get one tower. It looks like they'll get a second. But then a really good Ori combo just turns things around. And
Choo-choo special delivery. They're actually going to go to end right here. Kog'Maw kills Sion in the back, but Sion literally smacks him to death with his corpse.
Yeah,
Kog'Maw is dead. Trundle is also dead. That's actually a triple kill down onto the Twitch. It's not going to be the Quadra as Sejuani gets a kill on Wukong, and that's the Nexus going down in the back as well.
You've heard of One Punch Man. Get ready for 4-punch zombie, because Sion only needed 4 hits to just evaporate the Kog'Maw. So I think we saw the power of the Juggernaut in the early game. The lane 2v2 was really going in their favor. But the top and jungle and mid power out of Taco Taco's Taco Truck just, snowballed the mid game in the team fight. So that was very well played, very decisive win. I think we're going to take a quick break here. It is a vodcast, so there's no real delay, but we need to get the VOD set up for game 2, take a quick moment to rest our voices, and we'll be back soon. I've never actually eaten Taco Bell. I don't know what it looked like, what it tastes like. I am lying to you. I'm sorry that you had to find out this way, but I felt that in the interest of disclosure and honesty, I should tell you that I've never had any food from Taco Bell. However, what we did have last game was a crunchy Dorito wrap Gordito Team Fight Supreme, because we had a banger of a game, and we are going into game 2 of Taco Taco's Taco Truck versus Anarchy Navy. The teams have switched sides, and the Taco Truck won game 1. The Juggernaut comp from Anarchy Navy looked really good in lane and through the mid game, but the strength coming out of the top jungle mid of the Taco Truck just pulled it together in the mid game team fights and the late game.
All right, so real quick on the ban list here, Anarchy Navy banning Kate, Morg, Akali, Syndra, and Silas, which is pretty much no change. Only slight change in the order here, as Morgana is banned first. Taco Truck banning Zac, Kaisa, Sejuani, Jarvan, and Trundle. So the changes there are the Sedge and the Trundle banned away in place of Yorick and Warwick. Oh, that's confusing to say. The picks coming down here is Yorick for Anarchy Navy, so it looks like that was first picked, which means that was definitely a priority for them. That was responded to by Warwick and Scion from Taco Truck, so different jungler into a different top laner. Ezreal Yumi is what was blue 2, blue 3 for Anarchy. Evelyn was a jungler pick at blue 4 with Malzahar as well. So different mid, different jungle. Basically entirely different team composition for Anarchy Navy. Taco Truck kept the Annie support. They brought in Draven and Pantheon instead. So mostly different compositions here now. Totally different styles going in this time.
What I do find interesting is that I think that I see still a lot of the same with Taco Truck's comp. They're more early game focused. Warwick, a strong early jungler. Draven, a classic early game lane bully ADC. Pantheon's a lane bully. I'm guessing that's a Pantheon mid. So, but while they're more early game, they've itemized more into like we get kills early, we snowball. I still feel like it's a pretty solid team fight comp of like, look, we layer our big initiations on top of each other with the Warwick ult, the Scion ult, the Pantheon ult, Tibbers, and then we just do a bunch of damage in an AoE and people explode. So I feel like they're going to be running a very similar play style, even if they're using different champions. I find Anarchy Navy interesting because this is a very different team comp. Like Yorick is really he's really a committed split pusher. Like he doesn't team fight that well. He doesn't have a lot of CC or initiation. Mal's and Evelyn are more pick oriented. Yumi and Ezreal are very kite oriented. Like Anarchy Navy is probably well suited to killing solo people if they find them. But I feel like if they have to stand in team fight, they're really gonna struggle because you've only got one frontliner in the Yorick who's not going to be as tanky as Scion is, and then everyone else is going to be pretty vulnerable to just getting hit by like ambient damage and CC. So I think the burden of execution here is on Anarchy Navy. Like their comp is easier to get wrong than the Taco Trucks is.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. I do think that their composition also easier to get wrong, but I think overall it's a little stronger and a little bit harder to shut down, though. It's like you shut down Pantheon by existing for long enough effectively without losing. You shut down Draven by either not letting him get a kill or by just murdering him before his stacks can actually reach a reasonable level. He loses like 75% of his stacks per death now, so he's vulnerable to that. Annie can be played around here, and it looks like we're gonna get in the game here. We are loaded up and ready to go. Starting at 0, we are locked, loaded for game number 2.
One thing I would note is that the split push potential is really good for for Anarchy Navy. Malzahar is a pretty good split pusher because if you try to 1v1 him, he'll just ult you. Yorick is a classic split pusher. He is really good at destroying towers. Um, but like Sonora Star's Pantheon will side lane pretty well until the late game, at which point he'll be outscaled.
Yeah.
Like
So
Warwick,
one thing I'd like to note, by the way, is that they're grouping as 5 invading, really grouping as 4 because that's a Yumi. But they're just going to walk in here. It looks like they're going to be able to take control here, get some wards in place. They do ward up early. And Yumi goes back to Rady carry, and they're good to go. So quick 5-man. Taco Truck responds correctly there by not giving them the chance to engage that. Because as much as there isn't much engage, one Yumi Q can lead to a certain death.
yeah, let's see. So they're going to retreat. To be honest, I'm not really sure that invade would have been a great idea because none of Anarchy Navy's champs are that strong at level 1. Yorick really needs level 2 and some time to set up Graves to be good. Evelyn is not a level 1 champion, and neither really is Malzahar. So I think the level 1 would have favored the Taco Truck here.
Yeah, they're going to do some quick leashes here as Warwick does the blue buff very quickly. Evelyn also getting a little less healthy clear, but she is able to clear it nonetheless, and she does need that blue buff for, well, this ability to spam through the jungle here, and it looks like we're going to see buff to Grump on both sides.
So I'm curious as to see what they go next. I personally, when I jungle, I like to do a full blue side clear because most junglers, even those with relatively weak earlies, can full clear blue side, especially if you're do a decent amount of magic damage.
Okay, by the way, that ward just timed out, so I actually don't think that Anarchy knows where exactly Warwick is.
Yeah, so he's still got the element of mystery. Ezreal is being pressured off the wave, which I think is pretty much what you'd expect. Annie's got good early damage, and that's a hail of blades straight from Karen France. Like, he'll slice and dice you all day.
Yep. Good positive trade goes down the top lane as well for the Yorick, but it is a Scion. He kind of doesn't care for the time being. And mid lane, Malzahar's first 5 levels are pain. So that's a good stun. Goes down from Annie. Healing is expended from Yumi, but no summoner spells just yet.
Yeah, she's still got the Zoomies, though notably Zumi's mana cost is pretty high. So if she's not careful, she will run out. So a small gold lead already being built in favor of the Taco Truck, mostly just on CS from mid and bot, it looks like. Jungle, it looks like there's a gank coming in.
Yeah, that is a good stun there. Evelyn is burning down. First blood does go down in favor of the Taco Truck, but it looks like Ezreal's going to be able to trade back a double kill for it. So
And
in the end, it is advantage to Anarchy, I think.
Oh, I'd say that's 100% advantage to Anarchy because while they do lose first blood, Annie gets the first blood and not Draven. Draven dies with his stacks, doesn't get the kill, and then they get 2 kills on their Ezreal. So it's 2 kills on your ADC versus an assist on a Draven, a champion who really needs to kills himself.
Yeah, we got a top pretty much just fight going down here. And when I say fight, it's really more like Yorick is smacking Scion into oblivion here because he got his ghosts up, he got his wall. Scion couldn't really do anything without burning flash there.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't die, but he is forced out of lane. So it's a little questionable whether or not you burn flash there because I don't think you win that trade.
No, he's not going to win that trade. Yorick's pretty good against tanks as long as he doesn't get hit by their full combo. And there he was able to use his combo more effectively. Pant's shoving the Malzahar in. His wave clear is just going to be better at this point than Malzahar's is. Malz needs his lost chapter to really just start AFK clearing waves.
Yeah, Evelyn actually doing fairly well as well, despite that gank that went a bit wrong. She is only a camp or so down at the moment. which is good because Warwick can just tear through the jungle. So keeping up with his ability to, farm camps, even with a gank in place, is excellent for her.
Yes, let's see. So York, he probably should be looking to back pretty soon. He's running low on mana, and York is he's not super mana intensive, but he needs mana to really be doing things. So with no corrupting potion charges, he should probably be looking to take his back soon, especially since Scion has already backed and teleported in.
So I don't think Anarchy has seen Warwick yet in the last several minutes.
No, he's just kind of farming, presumably for his Tiamat.
Yeah.
He's back, and he should have the gold now.
I actually think he probably could have gone after Dragon reasonably with where his level is at, though.
Yeah, especially if he had a buff there. Having one buff really helps. Either buff helps Dragon a lot.
So Scion going to go in, smack the tower for a little bit of damage there with that Aftershock. Warwick is, however, going to try to force him away. He does not have the mana to continue this trade, so he does back off, but it still is a one trade in favor of the York.
See, so Ezreal's gotten his tier. He's also got a cull, which I think is alright. Usually I don't see cull being very effective, but I think it works here because really he's just trying to farm and get gold for the game because he is not going to beat Draven in the early game. There's just not really a world where that happens.
Yeah, Taco Trucks does start the red dragon, the Drake up here, so that is Infernal going to go down to them.
Taco Truck is running a special. They're having their dragon tacos, which they do serve. Very spicy. York's got his Sheen. He calls the maiden. So he's gonna he gets a plate. Did the maiden die? I don't think she did.
Yeah, it looks like Maiden died there.
Oh, okay. She did die to the tower. That's always the awkward thing. Maiden will, if you can micromanage her effectively to back her out of the tower, then you can have her return to base and heal with you, and keep her around for a very long time.
Yeah. Bot lane pushing in here a little bit. So Draven does have more stacks, although Ezreal currently has the bounty just due to kill advantage.
Yes, there's more CS in the Draven, but he kind of needs to cash in pretty soon.
Yeah, a little bit of a fight here does go down. Warwick is gonna, or Yorick, not Warwick. Oh boy, here we go. Pronouncing both these champions' names is gonna get confusing. Bit of a trade here though, going on in favor of the Scion, but that is an Evelyn.
He's gonna try to
popping up here. He's going to get charmed here because Evelyn has like the easiest charm in the game.
And that's a kill. Oh, and Scion used his flash too. Oh, that feels terrible when you flash right as you die. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, and he does not have enough right now to do much damage with his zombie. It's way too far away, so they get out pretty much for free there. Yeah, it's flash for flash. Ult's expended, no teleports up. So that's really just in favor of the Yorick there.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get some time to free farm. The Scion dies, and like that's an example of Evelyn's power. She's really good at ganking melees because it makes her charm very easy to land. So if you're playing Evelyn, just gank top lane. It's really easy.
Yep. Warwick, however, has been spending the time pretty much just power farming, so he is up several camps. But I think the amount of advantage Evelyn has created in sacking some camp advantage in favor of getting some lanes ahead is actually going to be more effective than Warwick's farm.
For sure, because if you'll note, she's 12 CS down.
Oh, Yumi was out of the Ezreal. That's a very bad place to be. She goes down once more. Another kill coming over to the Annie. Flash Tibbers is lethal if you are the cat.
I bet they were just kind of. I bet they were just kind of waiting, and we're in a situation.
They continue the dive, however, here. Yeah, they're juggling aggro. Annie does survive, but not before. Yeah, there we go. So kills traded over in the long run, so a little bit aggressive there from the taco truck. They wanted to push that a bit further. They really should have just backed off. Some fight going down here. Warwick goes in. Yorick gets suppressed. Yorick gets dead. The maiden follows.
Oh, sounds like we're going to pause for one quick moment. we're just resetting our resynchronizing the VOD we're watching to the one that's being cast. So we're back. We're live ish. The game's not live, but
Yep.
the Taco Truck is going for Rift Herald, which they will take uncontested. So looking at the game state, it feels pretty even. The gold's quite close, about 1,000 gold lead for the Taco Truck. They have one dragon, but there's a 1 kill lead on the side of Anarchy Navy. So
that Rift Trail going down in mid, by the way. So they're going for plates.
Yeah, this won't be the tower taken, but they'll get almost all the plates, I think. Yeah,
Pretty darn close to it. Yeah, 1 plate left, and almost all that going down to Warwick and to Pantheon. So that's good for Pantheon because the champion needs to get ahead. Otherwise, he's pretty much useless.
Have they? Oh, okay, no. For a second, I thought they would have caught Pantheon out there, but he susses it out, backs off.
His suspicion game is on point there, as Evelyn was pretty much standing just outside the bush. Quick trade goes inside of top lane, and not much else for it.
Hurts so much. Oh, a lot of damage coming out.
Yeah, but Evelyn is here in the back line. That's a charm up straight onto Draven. Draven goes down to the execute. So Anarchy Navy making an excellent gank there. Annie is slowed. This is not a place you want to be. Ezreal picks up the kill.
She burns her stopwatch, and it's still not enough. The Yuumi heal prevents them from turning it on the Evelyn. And I remember when Yuumi first came out, there was a submarine Evelyn build. It was called like Nuclear Launch Yuumi, where Evelyn builds full tank and Yuumi builds full AP, and she just carries around an invisible Yuumi because Yuumi's Q would be invisible sometimes when you were on Evelyn.
Speaking of Nuclear Launch Yuumi straight up gets a kill there. Pantheon gets the kill before Draven can, so he still isn't getting stacks. He's still not getting anything for this.
They're going to try to run down the Evelyn, but I think she's out here.
Yeah, no, the Zoomies is too much, and she's out for free.
Yeah, they're not able to kill the Pantheon. The Malzahar ult just kind of disengages. But Sonorstar was trying real hard to get as many kills there as he could. So the gold lead is shrunk now to about 600. The Taco Truck has started up the water drag, but I think, that's a dead Draven.
Yeah, just can't catch a break here. Tacos ain't too popular at the moment, and they're slowly being dragged down. Okay, Malzahar is not in a good spot here. He is going to go down to the Pantheon.
Yuumi and Evelyn are still here. Oh, that's a stun on the Ezreal. He should have Arcane Shift get away, which he does.
That's a good charm. Yeah, Ezreal goes down in the backside. However, Warwick is traded 4, so it is jungler and mid down, whereas it's effectively top end support are not able to contribute to this fight at the moment. So Anarchy's going to go ahead and take Greek.
I feel like I've seen this movie before, or maybe you could say I've eaten this taco before, because in the last game we had a really long and dragged out dragon fight. People get kills, they die, they respawn, they run back to drag, they fight, and they die again. But this time, Anarchy Navy comes out on top, and they secure the objective for themselves.
That's a Grand Starfall does go down. It's a silence, a stun. Not really enough damage there. He's not going to be able to push it much farther than that as he takes a tower shot, and that's a lot of damage. That's really not a place to be because, you may stun her, but she's an Evelyn, and she's kind of fed.
And that's a really good, that's a really big shutdown onto Evelyn. So she's got a lot of money now, and Evelyn just excels at picking off people who overextended a little bit, are a little bit caught out. Like, she's full bot Lich Bane. She is massively strong now, and the thing that I always struggle about Evelyn is, aside from the fact that I can't stop my solo queue teammates from dying to her, is that she's really good against tanks by assassin standards because she has the magic resist reduction on her charm. Like, even when you're a tank, if you build MR, you still die to her pretty fast. And notably, there's not a lot of MR on the side of the Taco Truck. They've got a couple
there isn't. Warwick going for a quick trade here. Maiden just burning Sion down. Sion doesn't even have his Sunfire cape at the moment, by the way, so he's not really all that resistant to Yorick. He just has a bunch of HP.
And I think that's the issue with going the Tiamat again. I liked the Tiamat in game 1.
Warwick tries for it. He does the ult out.
Which
Not much more damage done to that fight.
I think if he didn't ult out, he would have been dead there.
Yeah, he had no flash, so he was no flash. The moment the wall comes down, he's pretty much dead, especially if Evelyn gets her charm down. So good trade in the long run here. And we got Herald up in 50 here. Dragon up in 3, so they're probably going to go focus topside here, try to grab Rift Herald, and use that.
Annie is very low. There's no true shot barrage, but she's got a back row. She could very easily be sniped out by the Ezreal Yuumi. Midmaster's pushing mid. He's going to try to get the tower, but...
That's a good suppress, and Evelyn just pops up right behind Pantheon, and there's not much she can do about it.
And he's going to die here. She waits for the charm to properly charge up, and for the Malzahar ult to finish to maximize the crowd control duration.
Yep, pretty much no one take a tower shot there as they go on out. They get the tower in mid without even needing the Rift Herald because of an excellent gank there. That's also one of the more infuriating parts about Evelyn, is she can be literally behind you and you can't do anything about it. Okay, Sion takes the taco train in.
Hits the maiden, but York's just gonna back out here. He's gotten the tower very low. He should have enough score for his Trinity Force, which is really, really key on Yorick. Compared to other Juggernauts who have a lot of really strong early damage, Yorick is pretty dependent on having his Triforce to be really strong. Oh, Tibbers comes out.
Yeah, not really much else for it. It is reverse Annie, so a little bit, a little bit more horror involved in that, but that's about it. Pantheon does come in, but Draven goes down, and he's going to follow here relatively soon after. Does not connect with the escape. Ezreal very low. He is going to go down in return, so they are trading 80 carry for 80 carry, but Annie is pushed out of the lane. That's really it.
But once again, no one's... Like, Evelyn has 1,000 gold bounty.
Yeah, she does, and that's the charm ready to go. She doesn't need it just yet. Drake is up in a minute. So, not the best fight for setting up for an objective, but they do get more kills, and they just keep knocking this Draven down. Yeah, 75% stacks every single death.
Not had a chance to cash in his stacks to get that big gold bounty. So Ezreal's on 2 items. He's got the Iceborne. He's got the Manamune. So he's pretty strong. Draven's still working on his first crit item. And the one thing that really grabs me is the jungle disparity. Evelyn has Runic Echoes, Lich Bane, Sork Shoes, and is starting on what my guess would be is a Morello. Whereas Warwick he's got tier 2 boots, he's got Tiamat and the start of what is maybe, that's just a dead Draven.
Yeah, he does dodge it out, but eventually, Warwick goes down as well, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So, yeah, I think he needed to ult a little bit faster once he realized they were going to dive him, but it's unfortunate. And that should clear the way for Dragon for Anarchy Navy. Yeah, like, Warwick is starting on what I would guess is a Spirit Visage, but, like, he doesn't have a completed item, much less his jungle enchant. Whereas Evelyn has jungle enchant plus another item and is starting on a 3rd. Like, Warwick is much weaker right now than the Evelyn is, and he's not tanky enough to resist her damage, and he doesn't do enough damage to threaten her, especially given that Warwolves is just sitting on the Evelyn as Yuumi to make sure that this Evelyn doesn't give over her bounty.
Yeah, on top of that, Yuumi also just makes it. So Yuumi gives Adaptive Force as well, which is a little terrifying. Like, so Evelyn is getting more damage with Yuumi on her. She's getting more healing, more shields, speed ups, a slow pretty much at will whenever she needs it to track someone down.
And
then on top of that, it's CC.
AP from Evelyn's AP.
Yep. So it's just like, this is a terrifying combo. This is basically this is a heat-seeking missile right here.
Yep. And Warwick is about to walk right into that Seeker window. Nope. Okay, he checks Rift Herald because he thinks that's where they are, but they're not.
Yeah.
They do his
Rift Herald does go down, though, as Baron spawns in 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
One, gone.
There we go.
Okay, the suppress comes out, delays it a bit longer, but Evelyn just presses R and outskills.
Yep.
And runs away. And there's nothing that she can do because she's invisible now. Hey, look at that, we're diving. Turret
they may
goes
have
down.
overstepped here. Pantheon's got damage. He's got a lot of lethality, but
Yumi does her final chapter, gets to walk away. The Zoomies comes out. Evelyn turns invisible and turns the sweeper on, so there's no way they're going to find her.
I believe Evelyn gets bonus movement speed while she's invisible. Does she? I don't play Evelyn, so I'm not certain. But I think she's faster while she's invincible. Or maybe it's just her walk animation changes to make her look like she's faster. Ezreal has finished his cull, but hasn't sold it yet. He's got another cloth armor, which I find a little interesting. It could be for Ninja Tabby, given how much physical damage there is on the side of the taco truck. I don't think that's terrible. Okay.
No,
Nope,
she doesn't
not
gain
faster.
movement speed. Yeah, no.
Just looks like it. Annie, Yumi's got her Athenes. Annie this time is going for Morello first, and I like it here because with the Yumi, like that's a lot of healing.
Yeah, there is enough healing to warrant it here. Yeah. Ooh, Annie gets low, but doesn't die this time, so lucky there. Draven finally does have his Bloodthirster, but he's an item down from an Ezreal.
Yeah, he's been farming for a while, so he's probably got his second. My guess would be maybe Stormrazor, but Malzahar did expend his flash there to try to get an ult range. Oh no, Karen,
Flash
run!
expended as well. Yep.
I think just Drago might
Quick knock up. Yeah, there's not enough engage there, and looks like they back off. Evelyn gets a turret,
to back him up.
Which is just fine. That's a lone Annie. You're
They're
2 versus 1.
Annie.
She does get the charm down. That's a slow. That's basically death here. Yet there goes the charm. Annie gets deleted. The final chapter does come out. Pantheon doesn't get stunned up because of how his E works, but doesn't matter. Evelyn finishes that. Yorick finishes off Warwick in the top lane. Oh
and
boy.
This is
Looks like we're about to see a double kill. Yes, we do see a double kill, and Sion not having such a good time this time around.
This is notably like a pretty strong Pantheon. He's got Ghostblade, he's got Black Cleaver, like he's pretty strong, and he just didn't do damage to the Evelyn. She did maybe a couple hundred.
That's an ace, by the way, for the Yumi. Thank you. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, Karen wants to try to clear the wave, but he just gets picked off by the Ezreal Yumi combo. So
yeah, the Evelyn just carrying this team for damage now. Like wherever she goes, somebody dies.
Yeah, so it's very much strong in favor of Anarchy Navy. They're 7K gold up, 13 kills, 2 dragons, 4 towers up. So I guess the question is, what's the comeback play for the taco truck? Because we talked about how they were kind of more early game indexed, and the early game didn't work out. That's not what's going on here. So the question is there a way they come back? Because I feel like the only way they really can be in a position to get a good fight is to catch Evelyn when Yumi isn't on her, which is going to be hard because you can't see her.
Yep. Oh, Tippers misses.
But if you could get Evelyn without Yumi, you've probably got enough CC to kill her, and then you can try to play for an objective like Dragon or Baron. But it was the Leandro.
Tries to go for it. Turret goes down. That's a big ol' stun coming down onto the Warwick.
Not tanky enough at this point, unfortunately. Like Ezreal's doing a lot of damage. He's working on the Blade of the Ruined King. He did take the Ninja Tabby, but there's no armor on the side of Warwick. He's indexed so heavily to magic resist to try to survive the Evelyn that he's going to go down to the Ezreal.
Speaking of armor, look at that. We got plus 12% armor and MR now going down onto Anarchy Navy, and that's going to make their life just that much harder.
Yeah, I think it means less to Anarchy Navy than it could in further resist because they're not very tanky, but the shield is pretty powerful.
Yeah, especially since the shield's going to be scaling off of that AP and off of attack and it scales off of everything basically. So
yeah, I think that was a 900 damage Evelyn ult. Like that's real.
That's yeah. Now, imagine for a moment a world where Evelyn has an extra 500 HP on top of what she already has, while Yumi is healing her. No, thank you.
Yep. Because
Raven's probably dead here, by the way, as he gets charmed up. Yeah, he just gets deleted. Draven? Yeah, Karen doesn't get to play the game today.
That's pretty brutal.
Yep.
Yeah, Karen, this does seem to be a Rip Draven again game.
They are just taking the tower however they want. Some speeds go up. Here comes the taco train. They do finally catch somebody out. It might finally be enough. There we go.
The Malzahar kill. Ezreal, I think. Okay. Yeah, he did have Arcane Shift again.
The shutdown does go down to Sion, however. That's a lot of damage because Evelynn still exists. The stuns come up. Ezreal's getting dangerously low. He will get shut down.
So it's not a terrible chase. They managed to pick up a couple kills, a couple good shutdowns for the taco truck. But in the meantime, Yorick is pushing top lane. He gets a tower, and they had to invest so much just for that. Oh, is he dead here?
Possibly. Not quite, but close.
Very close.
And yeah, Yorick, he's at 2.5 items in effect, 2.5 plus boots. He can split push wherever he wants to, really.
Yeah. He can't
Sion
fight 3 people, but he's more than capable of 1v1ing most members of the enemy team.
Sion's dangerously low, however, there is no chance of death here at the moment, except for the fact that there's a freaking Evelynn trailing you and you know it.
Yeah, Warwolves,
so yeah, they're running back. They're not even going to risk the recall. They're just going to walk back to their fountain. They're not even going to risk it.
But he's still got enough for the zoomies, so...
Yeah, just 1 zoomies or even 1 Q, and you're dead there with that Evelynn. So that's the smart move there. Walk back to your fountain. Don't even risk the recall. However, Pantheon's misposition.
I've seen this before.
Okay, yeah, he misses, but
before.
Yeah.
But all of the damage goes into the Pantheon Aegis Assault, so he is actually able to repel that gank from Evelynn.
This time. Okay, this is literally you literally need to go in 4 versus 2. Finally, Draven gets the kill. But Yuumi just hops onto another person. So rather than the traditional free double kill because you have a Yuumi has Ezreal nearby. The cat is picked up, no longer a stray.
So that was a really huge. Oh, the Warwolf's off the mark, but he does manage to escape.
Yeah, there is no Ezreal. Yeah, not yet. So Ezreal not available to finish him off.
So they killed the Evelynn. She had 1,000 gold bounty, and she still has 1,000 gold bounty. That's how monstrously fed this Evelynn is.
Yeah, I actually think bounties reset when they respawn, so we'll actually see where our bounty's at. But that's a dead Draven. Speaking of bounties, there goes Annie. Hello, Pantheon. A little late on the response there. You're probably dead.
Yuumi heals. Okay, he has another Comet Spear, so they do take out a suppressed MP5, but they're just gonna trap and run down.
Trade back. Here. Sion can't do anything. There's the wall. He goes into corpse mode. Yeah, Warwick's gonna leave that up for as long as possible. There's really nothing that Sion can do at the moment. And Warwick is the only one left alive. He's going to get locked down by that final chapter. He goes for the fear. That's not enough. Yorick smacks him, gets the ace. Now they're going to get a free inhib off this, and they may push for more.
Yeah, they're going to show the wave. Let's see. Who's coming up? So Annie and Karen and Mycroft are up. So I think they're probably able to defend this, unless the Evelynn wants to dive, which...
She's
looking for a kill, but I don't think she wants to dive under tower, because towers do reveal her. And that surprise factor, she does depend on. Oh,
there is a Draven
just
here.
Pacing them outside of range.
That's cheeky, and there we go. There goes the right thing. That's the stun up. Draven goes down. It's going to be a double kill as well.
7 on the last embrace.
Oh, that's gotta hurt when you that's almost more HP than Annie actually has. And just a couple of abilities.
I could hear the da-dum, 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 da-dum. Or the horror movie music, like the scare chord.
Yeah, or in this case, because it's Yuumi.
A movie where the scare chord is just cats meowing really loudly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You hear the cat scratching inside the wall. You go in to take a look at what's going on, and they're like, "What's that scratching noise?" And surprise!
To be fair, if it was an M. Night Shyamalan movie, it would turn out to be dogs in the walls.
Yeah. Surprise plot twist.
So they've secured the Mountain Soul for themselves. This looks like it's just a case of Anarchy Navy wrapping it up. Draven gets almost obliterated by the Ezreal.
That Tibbers actually misses, by the way, so just outside of stun range, and yeah, pretty much no damage is done there, and yeah, no plot twist there. Warwick dies very quickly. Draven almost dies immediately, and he does die a few seconds later.
Midmaster is just going to, he's just going to try to shove this tower in. They're going to get the inhib. And I think they can look to end here. Yorick's in the top lane, but they don't even need him on the split push with 2 dead for the taco truck. They're playing
looks
cautious,
like
though. They're respecting the amount of burst and CC that can come out of the Scion Warwick Pantheon. Like, stun, knockout, suppress. That's a lot of that is a lot of CC.
One person can die very quickly, but they are going to let double supers do most of the hard work here, and I think they're going back to Baron here because there's really nothing that the taco truck can do.
Yeah, they can just force the Baron, force the taco truck to respond to them, and then take the fight. And they know they'll win the fight, and then they can either get Baron or just end. So there's really not any good options.
I mean, realistically,
they're doing this.
And he goes right in, bullseye right into the ring, and that's not a cage match you want to fight there. Scion.
That's not where Scion wants to be either.
Yeah, he teleports in on the ward, then instantly is exploded. Ezreal is just out of range. The Warwick ult, or the Draven ult is close. A couple more kills though, and he drops in the back to Malzahar. And Malzahar does the suppress, kills the Warwick, but Malzahar is traded back by Draven. And that's an ace. That's going to be the end of the game there. They'll even need Draven.
Be the end of the game.
So in the end, it was a good engage. It was a good engage from the taco truck. But they just got kited back, and they really could never get onto the champions that actually were doing the damage.
It was also pretty disjointed, to be honest. Like, Pantheon ults in, but then the Scion TP hasn't finished channeling, and everyone else is too far away. Maybe they were concerned it was too low, but very convincing win from Anarchy Navy. They come back from the first game loss to make this 1-1 on their first week. Well played by both teams in their respective wins, and I look forward to seeing more of them in future matches.
Oh, certainly, and that was definitely that was a rough game for a taco truck in game 2. Looked real good game 1, came in there and smashed Anarchy Navy with simply better team fighting, but Anarchy Navy came back with what was honestly an interesting and terrifying team composition. Like, you don't want to see that. You do not want to see a well-used Evelyn, a well-used Yumi. Like, that's not a fun thing to deal with.
Alright, so I think we're gonna take a short break as we get set up for the next match, Windowlicious versus Cloud 7. So we'll see you back in a few minutes.